Hey everyone, today we're going to learn how to make this Origami Tennisman out of a single square sheet of paper. So let's start. Now first you need a square sheet of paper. I make my own paper and I'll leave a link here if you want to learn how to make it. So the first step is we're going to fold this top edge down to that bottom edge here. Now flatten. And unfold. Now we want to make the same fold in the other direction. So we take this edge and we bring it all the way to the left side. Now unfold, and now we want to turn the paper over and we're going to fold both diagonals. So take this top corner, bring it down, now unfold, and we're going to repeat the same step in this direction. So just take that edge, that corner, sorry, and bring it to the bottom. Now unfold, and we're going to turn the paper back over. Now, so we're going to make a fold that goes from this point here, so where this line meets the edge, so that's where the fold starts, and it goes all the way down to this corner. So from here, that intersection right there, and then I bring it all the way down to the bottom corner. Now you don't need to flatten the whole way, you just want to make a pinch right there, down this line. Now unfold. And now we've created an intersection right here, you can see, with these two lines. And we're going to fold over that intersection. We want to make a straight fold here, make sure these edges are aligned. And then we want to flatten on the intersection right there. So this will effectively allow us to separate the paper into thirds. So now unfold, and to make the next third we're just going to bring the top edge down to this line. Now unfold, we're going to rotate the paper and repeat the same steps on this side, but this time we already have these two intersections that we're just going to align to make the new crease. So you see they're here on the other side of the paper, and also another reference, we can just bring this line here to these two intersections right there. So that's the reference I'm going to use. Yep. Now flatten through the whole length. Alright, now unfold. And once again, we're going to bring the top edge down to the line we just created. Now unfold. And now we're going to make some sixths. So we're going to take this bottom edge and bring it up to this crease. Now unfold, and we've already got this one here, so we're just going to go to the last one. So take the top edge and fold it down to this line. Now unfold, and we're going to rotate the paper. Do the same thing here, so take the bottom edge and bring it up to that first crease right there. And same thing at the top, just bring the top edge down to this line. Now unfold. Now in the next steps, I'm going to go a bit faster. But the idea is each time you see here a new crease, you want to make a fold that goes from the previous line to the next crease. So then we're going to do from there to there, etc. So we're just going to divide each section in half. Now I'm just rotating the paper to have it facing towards me. It's a little bit easier, but I'm just following these divisions right there. Now unfold, and we're going to rotate the paper in this direction, and now we're going to repeat the same steps, the same divisions on this axis. Now first, I'm going to take the bottom edge to the first line. Now bring it up to the middle crease. And now finally to this top crease. Now unfold and rotate the paper. We're going to do the same thing on this section. So first bring the bottom edge to the first line. Then bring it up to the middle crease right there. And then finally bring it up to this line. I'm just flattening a bit here because my paper is a bit special and has problems with these types of creases, so I need to make sure it's going to crease straight. Now unfold. Alright, now we're going to turn the paper over, go to the yellow side. Now we've got all these mountain creases like this, and we want to one last time divide each of them into two sections. So first, I like to take this one, so 1, 2, 3, start with that one. I want to pinch here and bring it up to the next crease. And you really want to be very accurate and match the lines very precisely, because that's going to make the entire final result much cleaner. Now I continue with this one. I just pinch that one and bring it up to the next crease. And finally, just take the bottom edge and bring it up to the next crease. Now unfold. And we're going to carry on. I'm just going to take the middle crease here, go down one, and bring that one up to the middle crease. Now next one, just bring the following one up. Alright, now that you've understood the fold, I'm going to go a little bit faster without explaining as much, but it's just the same process each time. You can do it however way you want. You just have to divide each section into 2 new divisions. Unfold. Now unfold, and I'm just going to do it up here. Alright, now we've got all the horizontal ones. We're just going to rotate and repeat the same steps here. Now I'm just going to make sure that this is all flat, because otherwise we're not going to get some straight creases. Alright, that should do. Now unfold, and next one I'm just going to take that crease, the one right below the middle crease there, and bring it up to the next crease. Alright, now unfold, and here we've got our 24 by 24 grid. Now I'm going to show the crease pattern on the screen right there, and basically now we have to make every red fold a mountain fold and every blue fold a valley fold. And for that we're going to turn the paper over, and as you can see, all the straight horizontal or vertical lines we've already done, so we just need to make the diagonal ones. Now the way you have to collapse this one is you need to start by the body section. So first we're going to count the number of squares we need in order to get to the body. So it's going to be down there somewhere. Now I can count on the crease pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here I'm going to start like this. So we want to make a crease that goes from this point here. So you start from there, the 9th point, and go down to diagonally. And then we're going to make another diagonal crease here that's going to make a cross with the one we've just made. And now we want to collapse this. All right, now we're going to go from this point down to 1, 2, and then once again we're going to make a diagonal cross like this. So now same thing here to make the cross. And now I'm just going to fold a few of the horizontal lines here and make sure I have that mountain fold cross. I'm going to have to fold down a few lines here as well. Alright, now that we've collapsed this, there's going to be one last collapse on the body, and it's just a mountain fold here. But the mountain fold's also going to be a level shifter right there. So there, you want to have 4 mountain folds converging onto that point. And make sure these 3 edges here align right there. I'm pinching them together. Now same thing on this side. So make sure the 4 mountain folds meet right there, and then take the 3 ones on the right and align them. Alright, now once we have this structure, we can go down. So we need to count the number of squares here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there, and so once I get to the 8th, I'm going to make a mountain fold there and fold diagonally down to make the legs. Now, we also want to make the arms. So once we've got this valley fold, we're going to have 2 mountain folds, one like this and one like this. So here's that one. Now we're going to make this one right there. So if you're a bit confused with what I'm doing, you can just see it on the crease pattern right there. Now with the legs here, we're just going to go down diagonally, and it's basically mountain, valley, etc. So here I'm onto the second mountain, and here I've got the first valley. Just going to stick that together. Then I'm going to push that point down to make the second valley right there. And now I can carry on. Basically the arm is going to go back up all the way there. So in the same way, we're just going to be mountain, valley, mountain, valley. And I'm just going to go all the way till the edge of the paper for the arm, right there. Alright, now once we've got the arm here, we're also going to go down a bit and go down for the legs. Now we've got this side of the body correct. Now we need to take care of all of that side, which is going to be the side holding the racket. So first I'm going to do the same thing down there for the other leg. Now you see, if we pinch that, we have this rectangle here, and we're just going to press and just squeeze everything down to make two valleys, one there and one that goes back up here. Alright, now once we have this mountain is going to shape itself naturally, so just press it into place, and from this mountain we're just going to keep going upwards to the end to make a very long flap that's going to be used both for the right hand and for the racket. So here I'm going mountain, valley, mountain. Now I'm going to catch up with the legs a bit. So here. Alright, now we've reached the end with the leg here, so all this paper is just going to be like this. Just fold it over and no new flaps, we're just overlapping paper over this. So here I'm carrying on the racket and arm flap. Now as you can see, when I go down here, I'm still just continuing to overlap. And one last final overlap, and we've folded all of this down. And now for the arm flap, we've got enough to go all the way to the top. So basically, we're just going to get all of this down one. And that basically doesn't have any incidence because they're still going to be useful for later. So you're going to go from the top corner here, make a mountain fold, and then go down. You have to take these out, so just pop them out. And here we're just following this line. So here I'm just going down from the other diagonal, right there. And now as you can see, we've got the base and we've got one very long flap that's going to serve for the racket and the hand, and this one's just going to be the other arm. Now we need to first make a differentiation between the racket and the hand. So in order to do that, we're going to go down to the first, and then you see the second mountain here, then the third one there. All right, now once we get to the third mountain, you go down there, one square down here, and you reach this point right there, and you want to open it up, and we're going to make a level shifter here. So basically you want to pinch right there. So you go up. Now once you reach this point, you just want to align these three edges here. So just pinch them together. And when the mountain fold reaches this one, once again, we just want to align these three creases together. So just going to bring them together, and you just want to align them like this. Now what this fold will allow is that, as you can see, once I turn the flap to get the arm, so here we have the racket, I can just simply turn the racket upwards, and you want to make sure to get this one down, and then you take this square here and bring it to the left, and then we've got one flap that's going to serve for the racket. This is going to be the racket handle, and then this is going to be the hand. All right. Now, if you're an experienced folder, from here you can probably do your own interpretation of the model and shape it by yourself, but I'm still going to walk you through how I personally shape it. So here I'm just going to put the arms out in the right place. And now I'm going to do a color change for the arms, because basically the white is going to be for the shorts and t-shirt of the tennis player, but we want to have the yellow color for the skin. And even though it isn't possible for the head, it'll just be fine, and we'll also use yellow for the racket a bit later. Now for the color change, I want to have a small sleeve effect, so I'm not going to do it from the beginning. I'm just going to start from like halfway between these two lines. So I'm going to go halfway between. So I'm doing a mountain fold and then back out. Alright, now we have our first yellow color change. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the racket flap. Now I noticed that this flap is a bit short, so I'm trying to bring it out a bit further by pulling it a bit further. So you see here it makes for this, but because this is the back of the model, we don't really care if it's not completely neat and tidy. Now once again we're going to make a color change for the sleeve. And as you can see, it's not perfectly neat here, but we'll come back to this later when we go into more detail. Alright, now we're going to take care of the legs. So for the legs, we also want to have a kind of short effect. So we're going to start the color change from there, basically. So we're just going to crimp this and then open up the layer. Oh, I'm having a bit of trouble with it. So to make the color change, we're just going to open up here to widen the leg a bit. We're going to use that back flap. And then here we just want to fold it back over to get the yellow side above. And here we have this short illusion. Now here you can adjust the shorts to your own taste. I think I'm going to have it a bit higher, so maybe there. Otherwise the legs are a bit short in my opinion. But that just comes down to personal preference. Now this layer, we're just going to keep it kind of mid-open for now, and we're going to come back to it later. I'm just going to repeat the same color change on the left side. So here we have a bit of a different flap, because instead of having just one outside flap, here we have 1, 2, 3, but it doesn't fundamentally change anything. So once again, I'm just going to go in between these two lines here. And here I still think it's a bit long, so I'm going to go a little bit back again. And there we go, I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, now we're going to do the hand on this side. And because we've got a few flaps here, we can give a bit of detail and make for some fingers. But first, we only have 3 flaps, so we want to divide each flap into 2 to get enough room for all 5 fingers. So it's just going to be a bit of a mess in there, but I'm just going to tuck that in and make sure it's out of sight. And it's not that big of a problem really. And I'm also going to do the same thing with that one. Alright, now that I've divided each flap, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each finger. So first we want to have the thumb, so the thumb we're going to try and make it a bit longer than the others. We'll try to pull it out a bit more. So yeah, I didn't mention, but for each finger you just want to press here to separate. Alright, now we've got all of our 5 fingers. And I'm just going to make them a little bit longer for the thumb. Now let's open them up. Alright, so now as you can see, we've got our thumb and then all of our other 4 fingers. Now we want to make sure we've got a separation between the arm and the hand. So we want to make a wrist appear. And to make the wrist appear, we're just going to pinch right there. Alright, now the arm doesn't look amazing yet because we haven't set the pose for the tennisman. So we're just going to make sure we have all fingers, feet, etc. before setting up the pose. Now for the left hand, so it's a bit more complicated to get the color changed. You have to open up here and we're just going to fold the yellow layer down a bit more right there. Alright, now here we didn't have enough flaps to make for the 5 fingers. So we're just going to try and get 1 flap for the thumb. And then with the next flap, we're just going to make an illusion of having the other 5 fingers attached. So we want to get this flap for the thumb. Now, as you can see, I've got a kind of separated thumb here, and then that block's just going to be the rest of the fingers. Now once we've done that, let's take care of the racket. So first we can see it's a bit thick for a racket here, so we want to make it a bit thinner and we're just going to fold it in half for that. So here we've managed to make the handle a bit thinner, and then we're going to open up this flap on the yellow side. So we want to have a white handle and then a yellow cord. So it's not a big problem if it's a mess, you just want to flatten it, so squash it up. And then once we've squashed it, we want to give it a round shape. You also want to make sure it's big enough, because otherwise you're going to get a head that's bigger than the racket and then it's not going to respect the proportions. And also when you do the racket, you want to be careful not to tear the paper. Alright, so now we've got the racket, we can go onto the feet. So for the feet here, we basically just want to make it kind of pointy end. And we just want to fold this layer back right there. And same thing here. And one thing we can do is just we pinch here to have a pointy end, and then you mountain fold, valley fold here, sorry. And here I notice it's a bit short, so I'm just going to make a bigger calf and a smaller shoe. Alright, so here my shoe is kind of a rectangle, so I'm going to make it a bit pointy at the end. So that's more like it. Now we have a proper shoe. And we also want to get the knee right below the short. So for the knee, we just want to make the entire width much slimmer. And that's going to make for the knee. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So we want to get the shoe and the calf separated. And then let's do the knee. All right, now it seems that the legs appear a bit small, you can notice here. So the way we're going to solve that is that here it looks like the legs start there, and in fact we're going to make them start more like here, and for that we're going to try and make a separation between the t-shirt and the shorts. So we're just going to crimp this down. Now we've got the short here that we're just going to wrap around. So we're just going to wrap it around from behind. And now to make the t-shirt, we're just going to get one layer out of here. And this one we're also going to wrap it around. Same thing on the other side. Alright, now once we've got the t-shirt here and the shorts, we're going to start doing the head. Now for the head, this model is kind of inspired by Federer, so we want to make sure to get the hairband. So first here I'm going to fold that down to get the chin. There we go. And then here, this is going to be the bandana, and then we're going to do the hair on top. So I'm just going to fold the corners back. The corners back to make for a kind of rounder head. And here I'm just trying to make sure it looks as much as possible like a human figure. So that should do. Now also, we have enough space to make some facial features, but actually if you're not sure to make them perfectly, it's probably more realistic if you don't do them at all and you just leave a blank space here for the face. So that's what we're going to do here. Now we've got two flaps here. Sorry, I'm going to show you what I did. I'm just going to bring that up. And with these two flaps, we're going to have to make the hair. Now the way I do it is usually I just twist them around like this. And make it kind of, here you want to make something that looks like a mess. To make for as much small hair flaps as possible. And also we can have some hair overlapping on the bandana. That's even more realistic. Alright, now we have this hair effect. We're going to, we've got kind of everything here. The only thing that's missing is the energy to the model. So we need to give a pose right now. And also we want to squeeze here to make for a kind of neck. So for the pose, we're going to have the tennisman lying on his right foot. So that's going to be right there, the right foot. And then we want to have the left foot hanging behind in the air like this. And then we want the arms, so it's supposed to be a one-handed backhand at the end of the gesture. So we want the right hand completely backwards like this, and then the left arm also to the back, just like this. And then we want to squeeze the top here to make the neck. And we also want to make sure the head isn't too thick, make it nice and thin. So here we're already starting to get something that looks pretty good. We've managed to make a separation with some proper shoulders and a proper neck. And also one of the most important characteristics on this model that we want to nail is that you want to have the head facing where the ball would pass. so down in the distance over there, basically. We also want to make sure the t-shirt and the short is properly wrapped around. Now, I'm just going to flatten my racket once again. Alright, now this is how I shape it. You can, once you have this, the best thing you can do is to put it on a stand and make it stand like this. I've got some photos I'll show you. And basically you can go a bit further, but you need to know when to stop, because at one stage you'll just be damaging it and making it worse. So you want to, here I'm trying to make a rounded body, but basically once you get to this point, there's not much more you can do. So you just have to focus on the pose. That's probably the most important feature on that model. It's the pose, to have the spirit of the Federer backhand. So here is the final result. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.